WrestleMania 42 is in the books, and we are still buzzing from an absolutely massive night at Allegiant Stadium. The headlines are everywhere because, in a shocking opening shocker, Oba Femi took down the beast incarnate Brock Lesnar in a display of pure power that has the entire wrestling world talking. Following that defeat, Brock Lesnar left his gear in the center of the ring in a moment that has fans everywhere wondering if we just witnessed the final chapter of one of the most legendary careers in professional wrestling history.
Tired of dropping your phone or struggling to prop it up? Meet the Pop Sockets phone grip with expanding kickstand in black, your new must-have accessory. Don't miss out. Grab yours today. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
The high-flying action did not stop there, because the Intercontinental Championship ladder match was nothing short of a chaotic masterpiece. Penta proved exactly why he is the champion, outlasting a star-studded field that included Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee, and others in a high-stakes brawl that featured some of the most dangerous spots we have seen all year. Penta walked out with the gold, but he had to survive a non-stop barrage of ladder-shattering maneuvers to keep his title reign alive. We also saw a major shakeup in the title scene as Trick Williams captured the United States Championship in a hard-fought battle against Sami Zayn, proving he is ready for the main stage. Meanwhile, Rhea Ripley reclaimed her spot at the top of the mountain, dethroning Jade Cargill in a physically grueling contest that solidified her dominance in the women's division. The energy in Las Vegas was electric, and these athletes left everything they had inside that squared circle. Finally, the main event delivered on every single promise as Roman Reigns went toe-to-toe with CM Punk in a historic clash for the World Heavyweight Championship. In a clean, high-intensity finish, the original Tribal Chief Roman Reigns secured the victory to become the new World Heavyweight Champion and close out the biggest night of the year. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you never miss another update on the fallout from this blockbuster event. Get ready, wrestling fans, because WrestleMania Night 2 just tore the roof off Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. If you thought Night 1 was wild, this was the stage where legends were either cemented or sent packing for good. The show kicked off with an absolute bombshell. We're talking about the beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar, going toe-to-toe with the immovable object, Oba Femi. It was a brutal, hard-hitting affair that ended with Femi pulling off the upset of the decade. The man hit a fall from grace to pin Brock Lesnar clean. But the real story: immediately after the loss, Lesnar did the unthinkable. He sat in the middle of the ring, stripped off his gloves and boots, and simply walked away. It was a quiet, classy, and haunting farewell that left the entire arena in stunned silence. Is the era of the beast finally over? It certainly feels that way. From there, the intensity didn't drop for a second. We saw a chaotic six-man ladder match for the Intercontinental Title that turned into a literal Mortal Kombat crossover, with Rey Mysterio rocking Deadpool gear and Penta going full Shao Kahn. The spots were gravity-defying, specifically Penta's insane Mexican destroyer off the ladder that left everyone gasping. Then things got heated with Sami Zayn taking on Trick Williams. The Vegas crowd was brutal to Sami, and you could feel the tension as Trick channeled his inner Booker T with a massive whoop that Trick energy, eventually hitting a trick shot to secure a career-defining win. Even the celebrities were having a blast, with George Kittle living his best life drinking beers ringside. And honestly, who can blame him? The show kept rolling with Dirty Dom taking on the Demon, Finn Bálor, in an unsanctioned fight that saw chairs, tables, and enough malice to last a lifetime, ending in a crushing coup de grace. We even saw Rhea Ripley reclaim her throne in a 3-on-1 gauntlet of chaos that required Io Sky to step in and even the odds. But the night belonged to the main event. It was the original Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, locking horns with CM Punk in a match that felt like a psychological war. Punk wore a jacket honoring his late dog Larry and fallen WWE icons, showing just how much this moment meant to him. It was back and forth, ugly and intense, with low blows, broken tables, and enough spears to satisfy anyone. In the end, Reigns hit one final, definitive spear to put Punk away and claim the World Heavyweight Championship. As Vegas raised their fingers to acknowledge the Tribal Chief, the curtain fell on a WrestleMania for the history books. What did you think of Brock's sudden exit? Do you think it's a work, or is the beast actually retired for good? Drop your theories in the comments below, hit that like button if you enjoyed the recap, and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss our next deep dive into the fallout of this massive event. The road to the next PLE starts now. Stay tuned. WrestleMania 42 just wrapped up in Las Vegas, and if you thought Night 1 was wild, Night 2 turned the volume up to 11 with pure, unadulterated chaos. We saw legends potentially walking away for good, new champions rising from the ashes, and a main event that reminded us why we still obsess over this industry. Let's break down the madness. The night kicked off with an absolute shocker that has the entire wrestling world talking. Oba Femi didn't just beat Brock Lesnar. He essentially snatched the torch, leaving the beast to leave his gear in the ring in a moment that felt like a genuine passing of the guard, or maybe even a retirement. It was a massive statement that set the pace for the rest of the show. We also saw some serious gold changing hands. Trick Williams solidified his status as a main event player by snatching the United States Championship from Sami Zayn, while Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill turned the ring into a war zone, with Mommy emerging victorious to reclaim her spot on top of the division. If you love pure adrenaline, the Intercontinental ladder match was the highlight of your year, with Penta surviving the carnage to walk out with the gold. Then there was the demon himself, Finn Bálor, putting on a clinic in brutality against Dominik Mysterio in a street fight that reminded everyone why the demon persona remains the scariest thing in WWE. But of course, all roads led to the main event. Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. No interference, no gimmicks, just two icons battling it out in the middle of the ring. It was a masterclass in pacing and endurance, and in the end, it was the tribal chief who stood tall to become the new world heavyweight champion, cementing another incredible chapter in his legendary career. It was a clean finish for a historic night. So, where does WWE go from here after a weekend that completely shifted the landscape? Let me know your biggest takeaway from WrestleMania 42 down in the comments, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay updated on the fallout. After all, in this business, the end of a spectacle is always just the start of the next war. Ever wondered what it sounds like when wrestling history collides with the biggest stage on the planet? At WrestleMania 42, CM Punk didn't just walk out to a championship defense. He walked out to a moment of pure, unadulterated nostalgia. The crowd at Allegiant Stadium held their breath as the unmistakable, haunting chords of AFI's Miseria Canter filled the air, instantly transporting every hardcore fan back to the grit of his Ring of Honor days. As a montage of his journey, from the indie circuits to the top of the WWE food chain, flickered across the screens, it felt less like a wrestling entrance and more like a career retrospective. And just when you thought the goosebumps couldn't get any higher, the music cut, silence washed over the arena, and then that iconic guitar riff hit. Cult of Personality dropped, signaling that the best in the world was ready for war. It was a masterclass in psychological warfare. But beyond the spectacle, Punk brought a heart-wrenching touch of humanity to the ring. His jacket served as a moving tribute to those who helped shape the industry, featuring the names of legends like Kerwin Silfies, Jim Shank, and Davey Coates, along with personal nods to his late friend Bo Luders and his faithful companion, Larry. It is moments like these that remind us that even in the world of scripted combat, the personal stakes are always real. As the match against Roman Reigns hits a fever pitch with Punk already busted open, the question remains, is this legendary entrance the prelude to a historic victory or a final stand? Make sure to hit that subscribe button to keep up with all the post-match analysis, and tell me in the comments, do you think the throwback entrance gave Punk the mental edge he needed tonight? Sometimes, to move forward, you really do have to honor where you came from. Las Vegas, you held your breath, and WWE delivered a spectacle that was equal parts chaos, history, and pure, unadulterated shock. WrestleMania 42 Night 2 is officially in the history books, and if you thought Night 1 was wild, you haven't seen anything yet. I'm here to break down the hits, the head-scratchers, and the moments that defined a night in Allegiant Stadium that won't be forgotten anytime soon. Let's dive straight into the heavy hitter, Brock Lesnar versus the rising monster, Oba Femi. This wasn't just a match, it was a physical statement. Seeing Lesnar drag Femi to Suplex City felt like watching a classic arcade game on loop, but then came the turning point that stopped the world. Femi no-sold the F5 like it was a stiff breeze. The look of absolute terror on Paul Heyman's face said it all. We were witnessing a changing of the guard. Femi didn't just win, he slew the beast with a devastating chokeslam and his signature fall from grace. Watching Brock take off his boots and gloves in the center of the ring was an emotional gut punch that felt like a formal retirement. While the rumors are swirling that a hometown SummerSlam goodbye is still in the cards, this moment belonged entirely to Femi. He's now 1-0 at Mania, and if the goal was to crown a new force of nature, mission accomplished. I'm giving this one a solid 4 stars for pure narrative weight. Next, we shifted gears from power to pure adrenaline in the Intercontinental Title ladder match. If you wanted technical storytelling, this wasn't it. But if you wanted a high-octane, highlight reel spot fest, this was the definition of a barn burner. Rusev was a man possessed, using that ladder like a wrecking ball, while J.D. McDonough proved once again he's arguably the toughest man on the roster, taking bumps that would make anyone else rethink their career choices. Dragon Lee's tribute to AJ Styles was a classy touch, and Rey Mysterio, at this stage in his career, continues to defy physics. But the night belonged to Penta. That final Mexican destroyer off the ladder to seal the victory was jaw-dropping. It gets a 3.5-star rating from me, maybe lacking a deep story, but it delivered exactly the kind of don't blink or you miss it action we crave. From the unexpected pregnancies and surprise returns of Night 1 to the passing of the torch at the top of the card on Night 2, WrestleMania 42 has been a roller coaster. Do you think Femi is ready to carry the torch as the next generational monster, or was Brock's retirement just a smokescreen? Drop a comment below and let me know your take. Make sure to hit that subscribe button to keep up with all our post-Mania analysis. And remember, in this business, the only thing more certain than the spectacle is that everything can change in the blink of an eye.